Good morning, students. Last three videos we were discussing about the structure of the earth. We have seen three layers of the earth. They are crust, mantle, and core. Core is the innermost layer, and the central layer is mantle. Mantle is divided into upper mantle and lower mantle, and the outermost layer is the crust. Crust is made up of lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. And the thinnest layer is the crust. As we have discussed earlier, the thickness is 60 kilometer below high mountains and just 5 to 10 kilometer below the oceans. That is the thickness of a lithosphere. So by this kilometers, we can understand that crust is the thinnest layer, followed by mantle. What is the thickness of mantle or the length of mantle? 2900 kilometers. Below that goes the core. So all these things we had discussed in the previous videos, and also we have seen about the chemical composition of core, crust, and the mantle. Upper mantle is in molten state, and that is known as asthenosphere. I have told you, and of course I told you core is completely in solid state because of the high pressure and temperature, and almost 4000 degrees Celsius is the temperature of the core. But still it is in the solid state. I told you why it is in the solid state. Why it is in the solid state? Because it is made up of nickel and iron, hard metals, and this gives crust the magnetic quality or the gravitational power. Even if you throw a thing to the upper limit, it falls down. It comes to the ground. It comes to ground because of the gravitational force. And this gravitational force of the earth is originates from core, which is made up of nickel and iron. And also we discussed about Mohorovic discontinuity and Gutenberg discontinuity. Gutenberg discontinuity starts when the mantle ends and core begins. Mohorovic discontinuity starts when crust ends and mantle begins. So this Mohorovic and Gutenberg are the scientists who discovered this discontinuity or the interface. That is why their names are given to this discontinuity, the change of phases. Core mantle interface, that is Gutenberg discontinuity. Crest mantle interface, that is Mohorovic discontinuity. So let us once more see what is Mohorovic discontinuity. It forms a boundary, as I told earlier, it forms a boundary between the crest and the mantle. Like the crest, it does not exist at a uniform depth. It is found at about 8 kilometers beneath the ocean and about 32 kilometers beneath the continents. It has the characteristics of both the upper layer and its bottom layer, that is the mantle. Because of the continuous changes in the earth crust due to force of nature, that is in earthquake and other volcanoes and earthquakes, the thickness of the lithosphere is very fragile compared to the nature and the composition of the earth. The thickness of the crust is very weak. Fragile means very weak comparing to the nature and composition of the earth. Theory of continental drift put forward by Wagner in the early 20th century and the theory of plate tectonics put forth in 1960 suggests that the earth crust undergoes structural changes. So these things, what is the theory of plate tectonics and what is the theory of continental drift? All this will be taught you later classes. Okay, no? So this is the general, or this is what we have to study about the earth structure. Remember, mainly earth is made up of concentric layers, and that three concentric layers are uppermost layer where the human beings and the animal kingdom exists, that is the crust. It is also known as lithosphere. Then comes the mantle. Mantle has got upper mantle and the lower mantle. Then comes the core, the innermost layer. One after another it comes. That is the reason it is called the concentric layers. So these are the things that you have to study about this lesson. You have to go through the question answers, and question answers of chapter 1, 2 and 3 already I have sent in the homework. I have also sent the PDF along with all the question answers. I have sent in a PDF. Please go through it, study it, and if there is time and question answers are ready, I will be sending the question answers of this lesson too, and all these 4 lessons you have to prepare yourself. Okay, so for the time being I am binding up the session, and we have completed 4 chapters of geography. Thank you, students.